What's going on, guys? Today I've got a 2013 F250 and we have a hard brake pedal. Hopefully in today's video I'm going to be fixing it. Yesterday out of nowhere I went to stop and I had no power brakes. I really had to kind of 2-foot it to get it to come to a stop, and it at least did come to a stop. Especially I drove it the rest of the way home safely. I just stayed far back from people and was manually downshifting it up here. I can't say I'm 100% sure what our problem is. Hopefully this will be me figuring it out. As you can see, this is hard as rock. This is holding it as hard as I can. Reverse. Oh, it's actually holding it. Before, like in any of the drive gears at least, you really can't even hold it. I had to put it in neutral at red lights. So I'm gonna back this thing in the barn quick so we have more room, and then I'll talk about where I'm at with diagnostics. Also, I need to get this rear view camera thing fixed ASAP. There we are, we got it in the barn without hitting nothing. I'll pop the hood here and show you what we're looking at. From my understanding, these are like a normal car. They have a vacuum actuated brake booster, and that's what I'm going to be trying to replace today as my first guess. I was surprised to see that these didn't continue the hydro boosts like they do on the older Super Duties, which I've had them fail me many times. Now that we get the hood open here, I'll use this nice step I got on the front that makes working on here really easy. So right down here we have our vacuum pump. There's a vacuum line here that runs up over into there and down into here. A lot of people say you'll have a vacuum line leaking, which I looked around and from what I could see, I don't have any vacuum line leaks. It's gonna look like it'll be a lot of fun to do this, to be honest. I'm not looking forward to this at all, especially I just changed my coolant out 2 or 3 days ago. So it's kind of unfortunate to have to already most likely drain it and remove this coolant tank along with the battery tray. That kind of sucks. So anyway, I don't have any equipment to test if it's got the correct vacuum pressures, but when I took that line off right there that goes into the booster, I could hear it, and when I put my thumb over it, I could feel the hose sucking on my thumb pretty hard. So I could tell that it at least does have some sort of vacuum pressure, and it feels like quite a bit. So I'm gonna grab the top side creeper here. Might not necessarily be the #1 best how-to video on the internet, but I'm gonna start off by yanking this driver's side battery out and figuring out how this coolant tank comes out. Looks like a whole bunch of stuff on the side here needs to be popped out of its respective clips. I could throw that to the side. Looks like I'll need to get channel locks out to yank this hose here, and I'll most likely have to drain some of this, which really sucks. And obviously everyone knows how to pull a battery out. Alright, so I went ahead and got a bucket and cleaned it out the best I could since I'm reusing my antifreeze. If I come up here now that the battery's out, looks like we got a bolt there, 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 and there. I don't know what that is. Then it looks like this coolant tank is all one part, so I went and have this cap loose even though that's off anyway. And if we look down in there, right past our, I believe, what is this, intercooler or something? If we look down in here, right there, there's one of those clips, which looks kind of like the stuff we got up here in our piping, where you pop it back one click and the hose will pop off. The problem is if I do that right now, I am just gonna absolutely piss coolant everywhere. So to get around that, I hope that's not a bolt right there. That thing is crusty. To get around that, we're just gonna drain the coolant out and put it back in when we're done. I'm gonna try to be as detailed as I can in everything I do. Don't count on this 100%, as I'm already not 100% sure if I showed every little thing I disconnected around the coolant tank. Like there was a vac line that I'm pretty sure isn't in the video. You'll see it though, it's kind of self-explanatory. So in case you don't know, you come under here. Here's the left side of the vehicle, here's the frame. Right there's our primary radiator. Ideally, you should be able to turn this by hand, I heard. I've never been able to do it, so I just grab a channel locks. Tread lightly on this stuff. You don't want to break it, but it don't have much resistance. It's just to get a little more torque. We're just gonna back this out a little bit so we're draining coolant. I'm gonna get this bucket probably pretty full. That way I can guarantee there isn't any coolant left to leak out when I disconnect the hose. Nice and clean coolant, that's what we want to see, especially since it's brand new. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit while I start messing with them bolts in the battery tray / degas bottle area. I wasn't sure if I got this hose that I got laying up there or not. I know I talked about that and disconnecting these. I took this one off there too. And then this thing here, what is it, a pick it up or push down kind of deal? Let's see how I release this. Let me see if I can get a better look at this thing. Looks like it just picks straight up. Oh, there's a tab right there you flick with your finger, and then looks like maybe push up on it. It looks like that is a bolt, so I have to clean that. These are 13 mils. I believe it's just here, here, there, and there. And then if we look down in here at that clip I was talking about, the hump in the middle that's kind of facing up, you're gonna basically grab that with the needle nose and pop straight up till it clicks, and then that hose will pop right off. And then we could get this out. If there's any other bolts that I missed, which it looks like that one might have been to something there that isn't anymore. And then I know this one here, which should be another 13. Yeah, I'll take that one out just in case. And that one in there. So it should be that's it, and then the hose. And then I'll lift this thing out. If there's anything else that I missed, I'll let you guys know. While this is off, I'm gonna completely rinse out and clean this up because this thing is nasty. So I'll be back with you guys once that thing is out of the way. As you can see now, we have this completely removed. There was this on the bottom here, which the clip for it's right there. Same squeeze connect with the channel locks. And then this vac line pops right off, and then we can just leave this hanging down here. While I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and yank this boy out. But once I do that, it looks like I can tuck this boy back out of the way. Hopefully that check valve or whatever's still good. That'd be pretty gay if it was broken. Ooh, the next thing I could think of here, I'm gonna try and putting this back together is already looking like it's gonna be a huge nightmare. Getting everything routed correctly is like my kryptonite. But I'm gonna try and unhook that here and see if I can slide this out of the way. Then it looks like that'll have to pop off that plastic clip. I got the two bolts out, one on each side of that, and it's loose, but it's hitting right there. It won't come out. So I'm gonna try to undo the bolts in the cab here and see if that gives us the room we need to maybe angle it up and pop that boy off. All right, so this is totally me just free winging this, getting under here for the first time. Looks like the same as most Super Duties. We got 4 bolts there, which I really hope this aftermarket BS one I have to get because I can't get one fast enough. I need this truck to be done tomorrow so I could drive it the day after that in the morning, which really sucks. So I have no time to wait for OEM. And the last time I used an aftermarket one of these, I had to like wallow out the holes in the wall, the firewall. It was just a huge nightmare. So if you have the means, definitely go OEM, unless you're like me and you don't have the time to wait. So it looks like I just gotta mess with this clip up here and get that off and then pull those bolts out. I'll get back with you guys when I'm done. Short 13 on a little ratchet, I was able to get it out. It kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, those are not in a good spot, but then we're gonna pop this off here. And then this should be ready to pull through the firewall. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands for this, so I'll just let you guys know if I run into any more issues. I should be able to pull it out and separate it from our master cylinder, and we'll be good to go until I get the new one tomorrow. So after that, it pulled right out. There was another plug on that side that I don't believe I mentioned. And up in here, I just disconnected that and pushed it out of the way. It's a very tight squeeze, and I'm praying to God the other one goes right in, because if I have to do any tomfoolery making this fit, it's not going to be a good time. So there's me removing it. And since I showed you how to take it apart, you can basically just do a reverse reverse removal to install it, so you don't need to see that. So to keep this video short, I'm just gonna cut to when everything is 100% back on and see if this fixed our problem. I'm praying it does, because if this isn't fixed, then I am in a load of trouble for getting to work. Everything is all back in. The reassembly was nowhere near as bad as the disassembly. I even was able to squeeze that actual booster itself down in there way faster than it was coming out. So I guess now there's nothing left to do but start it. I'm not gonna leave it run for long because I haven't added the coolant back yet, so there's not much in there. I am praying this works, because if it doesn't, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. It has to be fixed by tomorrow morning, and I have no other ideas. I guess ain't nothing to it but to do it. Thank the Lord. I guess I'm gonna fill our coolant up and let's take it for a test drive, make sure the brakes are working properly. So now that we're heading down the road, let's just make sure quick. Oh yeah. Stops on the dime. So that's a huge relief. We're gonna make it to work after all. I kinda knew it would be it. It made sense. If you have a vacuum actuated system and you got good vacuum but no power brakes, seems like it's the obvious solution is the booster. So thankfully that concludes this repair, and she's ready to be driven again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.